I know, but hear me out. Oh my goodness. So I went and saw Barbie. And the reason being is because I saw a lot of hate of this film, especially from the right. And they're talking about, oh, I hate this film. It's, it's feminist, it's anti-men, yada, 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 all this. It's woke, right? You know how they love that word. And I'm like, okay, all right. You know me. I don't really do that many movie reviews because for me to do a movie review right now, I either have to hate the movie or I have to love it. If it's meh, I'm not going to do a review because I can't do a meh review because it's like meh. Nevertheless, so I'm going into this movie thinking I'm going to hate it. I can't wait. It's been a minute since I've gotten some meat on the bone to just completely shred a movie, right? To completely just destroy it. And that's what I'm going into this film to do. I'm going in to destroy Barbie because I can't wait for all the nonsense, for all the anti-men, comments. I can't wait. Oh, men are useless. I can't wait for this. And I go into this movie, and I kid you not, this is probably one of the most pro-men, MGTOW, Manosphere films that I have seen in my entire life. Do you hear what I am saying? I don't know how they wanted the movie or how the director wanted the film to be, but it seems to have come out completely different. Okay, if you just hear me out, let me, lend you a different perspective on this Barbie film. The film starts off Barbie Land, I believe. Barbie Land, Barbie World, whatever, we'll say Barbie Land. And Barbie Land is all run by Barbies. The Supreme Court, all women. Judges, lawyers, police, everything is women. It's all Barbies, okay? And, they throw in, I think a lot of people are missing the big picture due to little sprinkles of, of little jabs, right? Little tests, I'll say. Because they'll say, hey, it's okay to be, to be a feminine and also express my emotions and stuff like that, right? Throw that away. That's meaningless. It's just sprinkles on top of an ice cream, okay? Throw out the sprinkles and focus on the ice cream. And then this brings us to Ken. Now, Ken, I would argue that Ken, this is really who the protagonist is of this film. This movie is more about Ken than it was ever about Barbie. Hear me out. This movie is just, mwah! So Ken's whole purpose is to impress Barbie. Ken loves Barbie. He worships the ground she walks on, right? He loves Barbie. His whole purpose is to just get her to acknowledge him, her to just to notice him. And he's doing all this stuff to try and get her acknowledgement. And everything she says, it's just like, wow, thanks, Barbie. Right? It melts him. It melts him. And all he wants to do is just hang out with Barbie, right? The girl that he loves. And eventually they're going to have a party. Barbie's having a party. And Ken's like, hey, can I spend some time with you? Can I hang in? And she's like, no. Unfortunately, this is girls' night. And it's going to be girls' night forever. Okay? So take care. And Ken is like, okay. All right. I understand. It's just, it's like, oh, poor baby. Nevertheless, that's the stage. Now, what happens is Barbie starts to have starts thinking about certain, we'll say off-putting things. Like her imminent demise, as a human, she starts growing cellulite on her leg. And what is happening is that the person who's playing with Barbie is going through some stages of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? So in order to fix this, Barbie has to go to the real world and find out who the person is, and cheer them up or whatever, right? Say, hey, stop doing this. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me like this. So Barbie heads off, okay? Heads off to the real world. Guess what? Guess who tags along? Ken. He sneaks along in the car just to be with Barbie. The man is whipped, okay? He loves it. And here's the thing. I think all of us men have had that experience one time or another, right? One time, there was this one girl, she was just God's gift on earth to you. Everything. You worship she could do no wrong. The halo effect, we'll say. She was it, okay? They travel into the real world, and lo and behold, once again, sprinkles. And what I mean by sprinkles, you have Barbie, and Ken, and they're rollerblading and whatever, and they go up to a bunch of construction workers or plumbers, whatever. And obviously, the stereotype, oh, you're looking good, hey, nice butt, all that, right? Sprinkles, throw away the sprinkles, focus on the ice cream, okay? Because that's how you get detoured. Throw that away, okay? Just chalk that up to satirical motivation. Barbie's like, what's going on here? This is, I'm so used, right? She's so used to, women, everything, ruling everything. And Ken is loving it. And the reason why Ken is loving it, because the only time in his life, he's felt valuable. He's felt useful, right? Where he's now getting attention, from women, but he's also getting attention. There's like a little gay joke where a dude looks at him like, oh, he's like, whoa, they appreciate my physique, right? they appreciate my physique. And this woman comes up to him, I believe she asked him the time or something like that. And he's so taken aback, right? Because he's like, what, you're asking me for the time? Like, because he's never asked to do, anything in Barbie Land. He's just there. And the woman he loves doesn't even care about him, right? So all of this attention he's getting, he's loving the real world. He's like, this is amazing, okay? I'm loving this. And then once they throw away the sprinkles, they inject the patriarchy into it. So he's learning about the patriarchy. He's like, whoa, men control this? This is, what, really? And his brain is opening up, okay? It's just, he's seeing the Matrix, okay? And he tries going to get a job. He's like, well, I'm a man. And the dude's like, well, you have to have you have to have some credentials, right? He goes to the surfing, goes to, another business, corporate job, yada, yada, yada. And he's realizing, he's valuable. He's an asset, right? People care about him. They need him. And he goes back to Barbie Land. That's what he does. Barbie stays there looking for, the person. Now, Mattel kidnaps Barbie and it tries to put her back into the Barbie world. Because they're like, yo, what is Barbie doing out in the real world? Nevertheless, the woman, okay, there's a mom and a little child. Now, little child is superfluous, okay? Once again, little child is meaningless. She's just we'll say the modern women, as everyone says. Oh, this Barbie, you represent the patriarchy, and you're this and this and this. And Barbie's like, oh my God, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to empower women, yada, yada. Okay, that's that little plot point right there. Now, the mother, we come to find out that the mother's one that has been playing with Barbie. Because all this time we're led to believe that it's a little girl. But it's a mother who's playing with little Barbie. And all she wants is to remember the good times with her daughter. Because her daughter is a teen and she's become a little demon. Okay? That's what the daughter is. She's a little demon. And the mom just she wants to remember the good times with Barbie. But she has there's some dark stuff going in the mom's head, which is completely juxtaposes with her natural upbeat self. Nevertheless, that's a little plot point there. Barbie and the little girl and the mom team up. There's a husband there, but the husband is learning Spanish. I kid you not. The husband's on the couch trying to learn Spanish because his wife is Spanish. So all of this, once again, all of this is pro men. I'm like, I know there are going to be people who are like, oh, look, it's a dumb husband. I'm like, that's not dumb. He's learning Spanish, to better communicate with his wife. That's a sign of affection, right? Anyone with common sense would understand that if your woman is Spanish or Spanish speaking and the husband is trying to learn Spanish, which he doesn't have to, but he's trying to learn Spanish, that's a plus. That's not a negative, no matter whatever light you want to, show it in. It's a plus. So they go back to Barbie Land because they're like, yo, we got to fix Barbie Land, okay? You can come back and help me fix Barbie Land. So they go back to Barbie Land and Barbie comes to find out that everything has changed, right? That, there's now, the president, who's a woman, once again, they're all Barbies. The president is now on the beach having fun, right? And all the Supreme Court justices are at the beach having fun with the Kens. She's like, what's going on here? What's happening? And some of the girls have boyfriends. They're walking around, right? The girl's hand is interlocked with the man's arm and everything. They're walking and they're talking, right? Some of the women are maids. And they're like, we can't, we get to massage Ken's feet, when they come back from work or whatever it was, right? And it's just like, what's happening here? And all this, everything is changing. So finally we get to Ken. And Ken's like, hey, all right, when I went to the real world, we control things. And it's, thanks to this thing called the patriarchy, all right? And what they're planning to do is to vote to overturn Barbie Land and to make it Ken World or Ken Land, whatever it is. And Ken, he's doing all this, and Barbie's just like, what's going on? And I kid you not, listen to me. Ken, at the end of the day, Ken does all of this to simply leverage Barbie to get her to be his girlfriend. Bruh. Oh, the pain, bruh. I was like, oh, my man. Oh, he's whipped, bruh. He's whipped. I kid you not. He's like, well, you know what? Well, this is Ken World now. This is Casa House, whatever. Okay, this is Ken Casa. But I'll let you in if you want to be like my part-time, long-term, whatever girlfriend. And she, of course, says no. And that's all Ken wants. All Ken wants throughout this movie is get the love and attention of the person that he loves. Okay, that's all this man wants. I want you to understand this. And he throws her clothes out. It's like, here, take this clothes and take these clothes, and kicks her out. Nevertheless, they devise a plan. The girls devise a plan because Barbie, becomes helpless. And they're like, okay, well, we gotta figure a way out. We gotta change this. And what eventually happens is that the mother gives like this speech, and she gives off this speech, which is not really gender, based. It's a speech that just talks to the complexities of being a human. But of course, given it's a woman, and this is Barbie Land, Barbie World, whatever, she's giving it from, the perspective of a woman. She's like, hey, we have to, be attractive, but not overly attractive to offend other women. We have to be, assertive, but not too assertive where people think that you're mean, right? And it's this fine line of being a woman in society. And I get that. I understand there's absolutely a fine line that you have to play. But what I also understand is that there's a fine line that men have to play, right? Where we have to be, a man, but also not to be misogynistic, right? We have to be, aggressive, but not also, overly aggressive, right? There's a fine line that goes from a Chad, right? Or to a lame. But there's a fine line that all of us play, right? Of, hey, wanting to show off that you're a leader without wanting to be the leader, right? To say, well, I want to be the leader. It's like, well, the leader really usually doesn't want to be the leader in that cases. So it's a fine line that all of us play in this world. And what that does is that it snaps Barbie back into, sound state of mind. Where now they're like, hey, if it snapped me back, to original, to factory reset, we'll call it, what about the other girls? And they do that. And you want to know how they devise this plan to snap the other women back into, Barbie mindset? Is that they exploit, I kid you not, they exploit men's natural weakness to help, someone. That's what they do. Because they're like, oh, men love it when you're dumb or whatever, and they have to, help you and stuff like that. That's what they do. And I'm thinking to myself, no way. You're telling me the downfall of men is that we want to help women? Is that we want to feel useful to you? We want to make ourselves useful to you? We want to be utilized by you, by women? I'm like, this is crazy. This is the most pro-men manosphere of film that I've seen. Because I'm like, you're exploiting the men's weakness, which is kindness, right? That's what that is. And then brainwashing the women into thinking that what they're doing is bad. This is what you have to understand. That's what they're doing. Like, the president of the United States is fun. She has like a boyfriend. She's listening, they're playing volleyball. They're all in better state. You have to understand, the women, upon the patriarchy being implemented, they're happy. I kid you not. They're happy. They're enjoying it. They're like, finally, I don't have to, use my brain. I kid you not. That's like one of the words from the film. It's like, I don't have to use my brain all the time, right? I can just, follow orders. This is great. This is awesome. Do you understand? They're saying it's a positive, okay? And that what Barbie is doing is snapping them back into like this feminist Barbie mindset. You know what? It would have been different if all of them were miserable, right? If they were miserable, but they weren't. They were happy being women under the patriarchy. They were happy being wives. They were happy being girlfriends. They were happy being, maids. They were happy, genuinely happy. Now they try to make it seem as if, oh, they were being brainwashed. No, They were genuinely happy. Having said that, so they brainwash the women, okay? They brainwash the women. They're like, hey, snap out of it, okay? Now, their whole plan, because they're about to vote to overchange, once again, the Barbie Constitution, their whole plan is to have the men fight each other. The Kens fight Kens. And they're like, how do we do that? Guess what they do? They leverage themselves. I kid you not. They leverage the interests that Ken has for Barbie, all the Kens have for Barbies, against them. So Barbie is going with Ken, right? Ryan Gosling while he's playing. And Barbie's like, oh, that's nice, but let me see what that Ken is doing. And the other Ken is the Asian guy. And she's like, oh, wow, did you make this yourself? He's like, yeah, I sure did. And then, of course, caused jealousy from Ryan Gosling's Ken. And so all the women start, mix matching and everything to cause jealousy among the men. And it's just like, yo, this film is based. This film is crazy based, okay? And so all the men start bickering. They start bickering over these Barbies, okay? That's what they start doing. And there's a whole dancing. I skip past that. But there's like this whole brawl. And in the meantime, between time, while the men are arguing, the women, right, they have a court and they uphold, Barbie land as being the constitution of the land. I kid you not. So Ken comes and sees, that the houses are back to normal, right, where all the Barbies are there and everything. And Barbie is like, hey, we've changed it. And Ken, Ken's just like, and he goes inside and he breaks down. Because Ken, once again, I kid you not, Ken still loves Barbie. After all of this man is devoted to Barbie. He's just like, yo, there is no Ken, without Barbie. It's Barbie and Ken. And oh my God, it's just like, oh, this poor soul, bro. The pain. And eventually Barbie's like, hey, you have to be you, okay? You don't need me to be you. You're Ken, okay? And I'm Barbie. And it snaps it for him, right? It's like, hey, I don't need to have this Barbie. There's plenty of other Barbies out there. This one Barbie, like, I'm okay. I don't need you to be me. And all the other men are like, oh, okay. And it snaps out. And it gets to the point where the Mattel, who's played by Will Ferrell, right? He's the head of Mattel. He goes into Barbie land because they're still trying to get, Barbie back. And the mother's there. And the mother is like, hey, how about just ordinary Barbie or whatever? And it's like, if you want to be a housewife, that's fine. Be a housewife. If you want to have a career or Supreme Court justice or be the president, that's fine. Be the president. How about you do what you want, what you want to do? And I'm like, man, what a good message. What a good message. Because this movie, I thought it was sublime. I really genuinely thought it was sublime. Because there are tons of guys out there, they think, hey, if I get the bigger body, right? If I get the six pack, okay? If only I was taller, okay, she would like me. If only, I was better looking, she would like me. If only I had, that type of car. And it goes to show you that no matter what, right? A man's just, I guess, just forever, okay, enduring love sometimes isn't enough for a woman. Sometimes that you have chosen the wrong woman. That if you had chosen any other woman, she would be head over heels. That most women would want a man who is so invested in her like that. Most women. But the one woman that you spent your whole entire time chasing doesn't even want you. Let her go. There are plenty of fish in the sea. And it was just like, oh, it's such a powerful message, especially given of, the bull crap that's being spread within the Manosphere and the, MGTOW, all this nonsense by guys who have no idea what they're talking about. And this film perfectly encapsulates just that message of like, hey, stop wasting your time on Barbie, okay? Because you're in Barbie land, my guy. She is not the only Barbie. She doesn't reciprocate your love. She doesn't take interest in you wanting to help her, right? She doesn't even want to be around you. If she's more concerned with having a girls' night than spending time with you, then pimping, she's not the one. And you gotta let that go. Some of you have invested so much into another girl, into another spouse, and none of it is given back. There is no reciprocation whatsoever. And that is damaging. That is corrosive to anyone. To anyone. Hell, even Ken. Even Ken breaks down. So I thought this was a great film. It goes to show that, hey, there are women who want to be a housewife. All these dudes talking about, I want a trad wife. There are women out there that don't mind that. They'll be fine with that. But there's also women who don't want that. They want something else. They want to be whatever is, the president of the United States, right? That's what they want. So sometimes those don't overlap, and sometimes they do. That's one of the messages they give in the movie. It's like, hey, well, perhaps she wants to be president of the United States and be a housewife, right? Perhaps she wants, there's a mix and match. And what that boils down to as a man is, what do you want? Because if you want a woman who's a housewife, then that's what you have to look for. That's what you have to vet for. If you want a woman who can balance her career and, being a housewife, then that's what you have to look for. You have to find a competent woman like that. And it's okay if you don't want that, but it's okay if you do. But it's out there. That's the whole point, and it's out there. And you're wasting so much energy on someone who doesn't appreciate you. Stop wasting your energy and time on someone who could care less about you. Some of you men are so concerned about a woman who won't even look at your text, bruh. won't even look at your text. And you're so concerned about what she's doing and all this. Let it go, right? Let it go. Be free, pimpin'. Be free. As Ken said, well, he had a shirt that says, Ken enough. I am Ken enough. You are Ken enough. I'm like, this movie was amazing. Okay, this movie is everything that the MGTOW, men going their own way, they want to say, everything I've heard about the Manosphere. It perfectly encapsulates what many of these enclaves, these atmospheres fail to do. And it does so in I don't see how anybody can say this movie is anti-men. I would say the protagonist of the film was Ken. That's really who this is for. It's for the Kens of the world. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, this is absolute bullcrap. The movie was feminist dribble. It was anti-family. It was it was woke, all this, blah, 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 blah. Or if you don't believe, I didn't actually look at it from that perspective. That's interesting. Interesting that you bring that up. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we do get out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, let me know what you guys think, share and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Until next time, guys, be amazing. You are Ken enough.